two of my coworkers at the same time. Neither of them know about each other. You ever wake up one day and realize your life is starting to feel like a reality show, but without the cameras? Yeah, that's been my life for the past 3 months. And if someone were filming, I'm pretty sure they'd title this season, Sleeping with Two Supervisors at Once, while pretending nothing's going on. Spoiler alert, they hate each other, and neither of them knows about the other. It's wild, it's messy, and yeah, I'm having a damn good time. But also, I might be one HR email away from career suicide. Let me explain. 3 months ago, I got dumped. Not a clean break, not a we've grown apart type of thing. We were engaged, living together, had a Pinterest board of wedding ideas and everything. Then one Thursday night, she tells me she doesn't feel chosen anymore and moves out by Sunday. Just like that. So yeah, I wasn't exactly in a healthy headspace when all this started. I work at a mid-sized logistics company. Boring name, boring building, decent pay. It's the kind of office where birthdays mean awkward cupcakes in the break room, and people have passive-aggressive sticky note wars about cleaning the microwave. I was just getting back into the swing of things post-breakup when they came into the picture. Natalie, mid-30s, type A, the kind of person who color codes spreadsheets and says things like, "Let's circle back after lunch." Always dresses like she's headed to court. Cold, but smart, and kind of scary hot in a way that makes you sit up straighter. Erin, early 30s, the cool boss, wears sneakers to work, calls people dude in meetings. Her desk is covered in Funko Pops and plants. Total opposite of Natalie. They've worked here longer than I have, but you can tell there's history between them. The kind where they act polite in front of others, but you'd catch them rolling their eyes when the other one speaks. I didn't think much of it until they both started noticing me. A week later, Erin stopped me in the hallway. "Hey, I'm putting together a team for the charity 5K next month. You run?" I laughed. "Only if something's chasing me." She smirked. "Good. You're in." I showed up to the first meetup out of obligation, stayed because she was hilarious, sarcastic, chill. And after our second jog, she offered me a Gatorade and said, "You're weirdly easy to talk to. I like that." Two different women, two different styles, same unexpected interest. And me, newly single, lonely, craving validation. So when both started texting casually, sending inside jokes, asking about my day, I didn't stop it. Soon there were after-hours messages. Natalie sent me productivity articles. Erin sent me memes and TikToks of cats knocking things over. They couldn't be more opposite. Natalie was structured. Our chats had timestamps and bullet points. Erin? She FaceTimed randomly and asked if I wanted to grab wings after work. The shift from work banter to low-key flirting was so slow, I almost didn't notice. Until one night, after a long Friday shift, Erin said, "Let's grab drinks, my treat." We went to this rooftop bar downtown, drank a couple beers, talked about everything. Exes, dreams, worst Tinder dates. At one point, she leaned in and said, "You know what I like about you? You don't act like I'm your boss." I laughed. "Are you?" Her smile lingered longer than it should have. And 2 drinks later, we were kissing in the back seat of her car. The next week, Natalie invited me to a small work dinner, just the two of us, at a quiet little tapas place near the office. I showed up expecting a serious conversation about team metrics. She showed up in heels and a silk blouse. The energy was not professional. We talked about books, her favorite cities, the fact that she hates her ex because he wore cargo shorts to a wedding once. By the end of the night, she leaned over the candlelit table and said, "I don't usually do this, but I'm glad you came." And the way her hand brushed mine, yeah, you already know where that went. So now I was in uncharted waters, casual but emotionally tangled with 2 women who supervise me at work, don't like each other, and are unknowingly competing for the same guy. It's not like I lied. I was open with both that I wasn't looking for anything serious, but I also didn't mention I was doubling up at the same office. And let's be real, it wasn't just dating. There were accidental brush-bys in the hallway, secret lunch runs. One gave me easier routes. The other started adjusting my schedule to match hers. It was flattering. It was risky. It was addicting. I noticed little things. Aaron asked, "Hey, did you go out last night? You were offline late." Natalie, during a check-in, asked casually, "Have you talked to Aaron lately?" She's been acting weird. The air was changing. The tension between them was getting thicker. And me? I was stuck in the middle of a workplace powder keg with two lit fuses, both labeled "Do Not Touch." Monday morning started like any other, until it didn't. I walked into the break room and saw Natalie and Aaron in the same space for the first time in weeks. They weren't speaking, just coexisting, like two cats circling the same territory. I grabbed my coffee, kept my head down, and prayed they wouldn't notice me. "Hey," Aaron said loudly, "did you get that file I forwarded last night?" I turned. She was talking to me, but her eyes flicked to Natalie, just for a second. "Yeah," I replied. "Thanks. I'll review it after lunch." Natalie sipped her coffee. "If you need clarification, you know where my office is. I'll be available all day." You could cut the tension with a stapler. It was subtle, but I realized something then. They were testing me, each trying to see who had my attention, who I'd respond to first, who I'd prioritize. That week, my shifts got weird. Aaron scheduled me for inventory, light work, flexible hours. Natalie reassigned me to client logistics. More visibility, more growth. I bounced between roles like a ping pong ball, no idea what the actual chain of command was anymore. At one point, HR emailed asking if I was being cross-trained intentionally or if my supervisors were misaligned. I ignored it, but the truth was, they weren't misaligned. They were competing. For me, and I was eating it up. It happened on a Thursday night. I was texting Erin, something flirty about her playlist, when my phone buzzed again. "Natalie," she sent, "random, but I just passed your desk and your screen was lit up. You working late or just streaming?" Innocent enough, until I realized something. She'd seen my phone screen, and I had Erin's name open. I froze. I typed back, "Just finishing up some docs, then Netflix." "Everything good?" She replied, "Yep, just curious." Night. That smiley face? Chilling. The next morning, Erin asked, "You okay? You were kind of distant last night." They both sensed it. Something was shifting. That weekend, Natalie invited me over. Not out, over. Her place. It was spotless, minimalist, like her personality. She poured wine, played old jazz, talked about how chaotic the office had been lately. "I feel like I'm being watched," she said, almost joking. I laughed too loudly. She narrowed her eyes. "You're not seeing anyone else here, are you?" I choked on my wine. "What?" She smiled, but it wasn't warm. "I'm not accusing, just curious. Erin's been odd lately." I lied. Smoothly, I thought. Number just work. She nodded, but the look in her eyes said she didn't buy it. 2 days later, Erin called me into her office. "Got a question," she said, spinning in her chair. "Have you been seeing Natalie?" I blinked. "What do you mean?" "I mean, I'm not judging. You're single. You can do what you want, but I need to know if I'm being played or if I need to stop making you a priority." It was the first time one of them had said it out loud. The game was over. Almost. I said the only thing I could. "I think I've caught feelings for you." She didn't say anything, just nodded. But later that night, Natalie called. "We need to talk." We met at a diner. Quiet, neutral ground. She got straight to it. "Erin and I talked. She told me everything." I didn't speak. She continued, "I'm not mad that you were seeing both of us. I'm mad that you thought we wouldn't figure it out." "So what happens now?" I asked. She leaned back. "You tell us who you want, and you stop lying. To us, to yourself." I wish I could say it was easy, that I followed my heart, that love won. But honestly, I panicked. I told them I needed space. I ghosted both for a week, showed up late to shifts, avoided the office. Eventually, I got reassigned to another department. No more flirtations, no more special treatment, just spreadsheets and silence. But here's the craziest part. They're friends now, not besties. but cordial. Turns out they bonded over how dumb I was, shared screenshots, exchanged notes. Apparently, they both saw through me long before I cracked. And me? I'm back on dating apps. No supervisors this time. If you play with fire, you don't always get burned. Sometimes, you just get transferred. I thought everything would settle down. The awkwardness would fade. People would forget. But no one forgot. Aaron stopped saying hi in the hallways. Natalie passed me papers like I was invisible. Worse, the team started noticing the shift too. There were whispers, inside jokes I didn't understand. A few coworkers even asked if I'd pissed off the queens of the office. And honestly, yeah, I guess I did. Every now and then, I'd see Erin laughing across the room. That casual, relaxed way she used to laugh with me. But it wasn't with me anymore. Natalie, too, sharper, colder. But I'd catch her glancing in my direction when she thought I wasn't looking. Like maybe there was still something unsaid. But neither of them spoke to me outside of strictly professional channels. The power dynamic had shifted. They'd both moved on. And I was stuck in the middle of an invisible war zone. It started small. An unknown number texted me one night. Ever wonder what your coworkers really think of you? I ignored it. Then another. Check your desk drawer. Next morning, I found a sticky note in my drawer with just a smiley face on it. No one saw who put it there. Then came the emails. Anonymous Gmail, fake name. You should be careful who you sleep with, especially when they know people in HR. That one chilled me. A week later, Natalie asked me to stay after a team meeting. I assumed it was work-related. She waited until everyone had left, then said, I didn't send the messages. I didn't say anything. My jaw clenched. But I know who did. I looked at her. Why are you telling me this? She shrugged. Because I'm not as heartless as you think. I asked the question I'd been too scared to voice. Was it Aaron? She paused. Then she said, she felt something real. I didn't, but she did. You should talk to her. I hesitated for days, but eventually I messaged Aaron. I know I messed everything up, but if you ever want to talk, even just as friends, I'd like that. She didn't reply, but 2 days later, she asked me to join her on a lunch break walk. We walked in silence for 5 minutes before she finally said, do you know what it felt like to think I had something real, and then realize I was just one of two? I didn't answer. She continued, I don't hate you. I just don't trust you, and I probably never will. But then she added, still, I liked who I was when I was with you, and I kind of miss that. We started texting again, nothing flirty, just friendly. She told me about her weekend plans. I told her about my attempt to cook pasta without ruining it. And for a while it was nice. We weren't what we were, but we weren't enemies either. Natalie stayed out of it completely. She stopped interfering, stopped testing me. It was like she'd decided she was done playing. Or maybe she had already won. Then one day, HR posted an internal opportunity, team lead, logistics department. Perfect fit. I applied immediately. A week later, I got called into the conference room. Natalie and Aaron were both on the interview panel. The energy in the room? Frostbite. They asked standard questions, smiled politely, took notes. I tried to answer confidently, but my voice cracked more than once. 3 days later, I got the email. We appreciate your application. However, we've selected another candidate. No feedback, no second chance. The rumor that spread like fire. Later that week, a coworker stopped me in the hallway. Hey, is it true you were hooking up with both Aaron and Natalie? I froze. He smirked. Dude, that's legendary. And just like that, the Whisper campaign became wildfire. People weren't even mad. They were entertained. To them, it was just workplace drama, gossip, something to laugh about at lunch. But for me, it was career killing. No one took me seriously anymore. Every suggestion I gave was met with a smirk. Every meeting I joined felt like a silent roast. The offer that changed everything. One day I got a message from Natalie. You should start fresh. There's an opening at our Chicago office. Same role, better hours. They'll consider you if I recommend you. I stared at the message for a long time. It wasn't kindness, it was mercy. Or maybe a chess move. Either way, it was a door. I took it. Now, 3 months later. I work in Chicago now. New team, new apartment, new me. No romance at work. No late night texts from supervisors. Just spreadsheets, playlists, and a quiet kind of peace. Sometimes I still check Erin's socials. She looks happy. She's traveling more. She posted a photo recently, smiling with someone new. Not me, Natalie, no trace. Deleted most of her digital footprint, like she vanished. And me? I learned my lesson. I don't mix business with pleasure anymore. But I'll admit, part of me misses the chaos. Have you ever kept a secret at work that spiraled out of control? Ever dated someone you definitely shouldn't have? Tell us in the comments. And don't worry, we won't snitch. Subscribe for more Reddit-style drama. Subscribe for more Reddit-style drama, true confessionals, and stories you won't believe are real.